First things first is you need to locate a school expulsion attorney, which is easier said than done here in California. A lot of criminal defense attorneys don't practice with schools, and they don't do school expulsion hearings. The education code is far different than the penal code. So first things first, you need a lawyer who's well versed in the expulsion process, which normally turns on the education code. Certain conduct is prohibited under zero tolerance laws, which mean that almost immediately upon an allegation of misconduct that falls under a certain part of the education code, your child is going to be either suspended or expelled. And then soon after, there's going to be a hearing before an administrative body. So this is far different than a court case. The rules of evidence are different, the law is different. So you need an attorney who is versed in the education code and is also well versed in doing administrative hearings. Very, very much a disadvantage when you're going alone versus 3 or 4 people sitting on a board, as opposed to going with a lawyer who is versed in objecting to certain types of evidence and also admitting evidence and witnesses and testimony from other people. So doing that on your own is a very, very difficult task. But when you have an attorney that knows the law, you'll be well positioned to present your case to the board and hopefully be successful. Many schools and school districts are known for somewhat hiding the ball when it comes to this process. The information is not always transparent to the families and to the children and the kids and the students. So sometimes schools lose sight of what their job is. Their job is to educate, and sometimes when their job overlaps with punishment, we get into some issues about due process and whether or not someone's getting a fair right to a hearing, or are they taking action first before determining whether or not there's any evidence to do so. At the hearing, they have a couple of different things they can do after it. They can set aside the expulsion or suspension and just reinstate you. They can permanently expel you. They can extend the suspension. There's a lot of different things they can do. So depending upon the result, if it's not a positive result, you always have the right to appeal. And that would depend upon, of course, the circumstances and the facts of the case and how the decision was made by the board or the district. Here at Wallin Klarich, we have experience handling school expulsion cases. We review the packet of information which gave rise to either the suspension or the expulsion. We'll investigate it. We'll interview witnesses. Oftentimes these witnesses are minors, so we'll speak with them and their family, and we'll see what the motivation is behind the allegations and whether or not they can be substantiated. I've handled expulsion hearings throughout Orange County and Los Angeles, so LAUSD, the Irvine School District. I take great pride in handling these cases because I know the value of education, and I know the impact being expelled can have on a student and their family and their future, be it going to graduate school, going to college, employment. I mean, there's nothing more serious to a student than being educated. So I take great pride in making sure that their rights are advocated for, and due process is a huge part of this, and sometimes that's lost upon many of the people involved in the process.